Plaintiff Daryl Marks is suing his former friend, Rose Lindquist, for an unpaid loan. Daryl says his son was taken away from him due to a bogus drug paraphernalia charge, so he loaned the defendant money so she could get custody, but she bought a new car instead. But Rose says she loves the plaintiff's son and is still trying to retain a lawyer to get custody of him. She's countersuing the plaintiff for wages she believes she earned babysitting.
Daryl Marks is suing Rose Lindquist, his former friend, for an unpaid loan, and Rose is countersuing her former friend for babysitting fees. Daryl, why are you suing?
Okay, it starts in 2005. I had my son taken away from me from social services. Okay?
Sorry.
This is because I was arrested for a paraphernalia drug charge of a pipe. Okay? The pipe was found in a room that I was going to rent from these people. I hadn't even moved into the house yet, and was about to move into the house when the police raided the house. Okay? When they raided the house, they found the pipe in the room that I was in.
Right.
Me and my son. Okay?
How old was your son?
He's 4 now. He was like 2 then. So I was found guilty had I might have known the pipe was there. Okay? I was sentenced to Prop 36, which I did perfectly. During that time, I was also testing for social services. Okay? Tested twice a week for approximately a year for social services. With the judge, my girlfriend had missed one of her parenting classes, so her rights were terminated. Okay? The judge.
She's the mother of the baby.
She's the mother of the baby.
And what's the baby's name?
Daryl.
You're Daryl and your son is Daryl?
Yeah.
Okay. Why'd she miss the class?
Because she was ill, whatever. The judge told me that if I kicked my girlfriend to the curb, he would give me back my baby.
He used those words, if you kick her to the curb?
His exact words were, kick your girlfriend to the curb.
And what did you do?
I told the judge the truth. Said I couldn't kick her to the curb because I love her.
So as a result of your not rejecting your girlfriend who failed parenting classes and who was with you the night that the
No,
cops...
she was not. She was not with me.
So why did they... What?
It was just me and Daryl there at the time when the police...
So why are they forcing her to do parenting classes?
That's another thing.
Come on, Daryl, there's a history here. There's something happened before this finding this paraphernalia.
It was the drug history of, I guess, drug classes or whatever. She wouldn't test or do anything.
You guys have convictions prior to this?
I've had a conviction prior, yes. She has not.
A conviction?
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah, I've had a pipe paraphernalia conviction in the prior. But during this time, my mother had custody of Daryl. Mrs. Lindquist was babysitting for my mother.
Who is she?
I've known Mrs. Lindquist and her brother for about 30 years, lifelong family.
Okay.
Yeah. She approached me and she said she had $1,500 and she needed $3,000 to retain an attorney to adopt my son. I figured I'd rather, since I've lost custody of my son, to let Lita adopt him so I could at least see him grow up.
So because of your child's mother, you made the decision to be with the mother instead of with the child.
We were together. I couldn't let my girlfriend.
You were together, but the baby is. Who's the baby going to be with? He's only 2.
Yeah, with my mother. No.
So already your mother had custody.
Yeah, already. Yeah, right. From the time that we got arrested for the pipe charge when I was moving into the lady's house.
So they took
at that point is when my mother took.
Did you have consistent custody of your child from the time he was born?
Prior to that, yes. Prior to that, he was with me and my girlfriend. Yes.
Nita, where do you come in? That's what I'm trying to understand.
Where I come in as he got taken back because his mother gave him up, his own grandma. And that was wrong. I couldn't understand that.
Grandma gave him up too?
Grandma gave him up to back to the oil.
She was moving into a senior citizen place, and she could not have Daryl with her.
So at that point, dump the girlfriend to the curb and get your son.
I couldn't because the social service said they wouldn't let me.
Why not?
They wouldn't let me see him or anything.
Why?
Why? Because of the
girlfriend.
Yeah.
You chose your girlfriend over your baby.
I was found guilty. Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Basically.
All right. Tell me about this little boy. Do you have a picture?
Yes,
oh, he's a beautiful little baby. Yes, this picture right here. I've got his candles, pictures.
What a shame.
Got a lock of his hair, but I forgot it.
Lita, start at the beginning.
I don't.
That's Daryl Ian Marks.
At Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
How cute.
All right.
He's adorable. How old is he now?
He's 4 years old. He'll be 5 May 19th.
Here's a real photograph.
Daryl. She's got a drug problem.
We both were going through problems. Bottom line, Your Honor, is Mrs. Lindquist came to me to ask me if she
No, I did
she
not.
had $1,500, and if I had $1,500 that she could retain an attorney so that she could adopt him. I lent her the
No, you did not.
$1,500.
You did not
Months
lend it.
later,
You gave it to
she
me.
come around the corner with a new car. I went up and said, Lita, where's the attorney? What's going on? And she cursed at me, sped off, and told me, you owe me $2,000 from 2 years ago. Okay? Now, this is, I know nothing about owing any money whatsoever. This right here is a written statement from my mother, and says that she paid Lita every.
I was asked if I would take custody of him till the court decided he could go back to his parents. I readily agreed. Mrs. Lindquist, who was a neighbor of mine, offered to help me by babysitting him in the mornings. She said she just wanted $10 a day. The arrangement was made that I would pay her twice a month on the 10th and 25th of $100 each payday. She took care of Daryl from 3705 to 41806 when the social worker took him and put him in a foster care home because I was moving into a senior living facility. What a sad story. Why would you give her $1,500
So
to
that
get
she
an
could
attorney?
To retain, so I could at least see him grow up.
You took $1,500 from him.
He gave it to me, Your Honor.
What was the conversation?
When he pulled up, like I said, I talked to my brother. He was there. He's a witness. And, he signed the papers for the guardianship and everything. And then I asked him, I said, see if Daryl can help me in any way besides this. And that's when Daryl called me and asked me, are you needing $1,500? I said, yes. And Daryl, I says, I can't afford them. You know what I mean? I don't have the money to do this. And then that's when he come up, and before I knew it, he come up to my mobile at the park there in Orange, there in Costa Mesa. And I met him at the door there, and I said, come on in. I said, what's going on? And he says, and he pulled it out of his pocket. He says, here. I looked at him and said, oh my God. I was shocked. I didn't know what to say. I said, you giving me this? He said, yes. He says, and if you need more, there's more where that comes from. If it takes it all, we'll do it. And that's the truth.
How long ago did you give her this money?
Approximately 3 months ago. About 3 months ago. Yeah.
And during the 3 months, have you hired a lawyer with the money?
I couldn't at the time because each lawyer that I went to, they went in and they couldn't find out anything. So I thought, oh my God, what am I going to do? So now this time.
Let me tell you what the lawyers do, Rose.
I don't know.
They bring an order to show cause against social services or whatever agency is appropriate in the state to find out the whereabouts and the status of the child. That's what lawyers do the first minute you walk in. So
Okay.
don't give me this hogwash that
No.
nobody knows where he is. Show me some receipts.
No, nobody knows where he is. That's true. And my brother also.
Tell the story from the beginning.
I forget a lot of it, Your Honor. That's why, because I'm brokenhearted because baby's gone. I'm sorry.
What do you want to
I
say?
love
Stand
him.
up.
Please.
Yeah, when she asked Daryl for the money to obtain the lawyer, Daryl in the beginning kind of dragged it out, didn't come, and my sister called me all the time, and I got tired of it, so I told Daryl, come on, Daryl, are you going to loan her the money or give her their money or whatever you're going to do? And he finally said, okay, and then when she came over, he gave her a check, and she goes, now, are you giving this to me? Because you know I can't pay this back. And he goes, yes, and there's more if you need it. And
That's
she
not
goes,
how it happened?
Not quite.
Daryl, you know that's
it
how it
is.
happened.
Yeah, Your Honor, had she retained an attorney and got that, I would not care about the money. I wouldn't want the money back as long as I could see my son grow up. You know, get to see him at least.
So your concern is that the money that it was a conditional loan.
It was a
loan
to
based
retain an attorney.
She's still trying to retain an attorney.
Well, 3 months later, she come around the corner.
3
in the
months
car.
and you haven't had an attorney yet, and you're giving me this hogwash. With all due respect, Rose, what you're telling me is that you've called a few lawyers and nobody knows where Daryl is.
Your Honor,
What?
she did try to obtain 3 of them. They would go into court to find out whatever. They'd come back and they told her they couldn't take the case.
Why?
I have a friend.
Why couldn't they take the case?
They never explained why. I have a friend who is in charge of distributing money throughout the orphanages in Orangewood and that. He did some checking for me and said that the kid has been adopted.
He's not?
He's not been adopted, but there is a couple that is filed paperwork. Told me to tell her to go file. She went down to the file. They would not take the paperwork.
They would not take it.
So there's something
You need a lawyer, Rose.
That's when I told her. The lawyer
You
said.
need a lawyer.
Yeah,
I mean, no, look, you're a good woman. You babysat this child. You're carrying around his
I love
burnt
him. I love
candles
him.
from his birthday.
I know it.
I believe you love this child, but you've got $1,500 of his money that you're supposed to use to get custody of the
That's
child.
what I'm still trying to do.
But Rose, you can't take forever. I'm not even dealing with yet.
Here's all the times that she's tried to file.
I mean, I tried to file 2 times, and then he wouldn't take it the
Let
third
me
time.
ask you a question, Daryl. Do you still want her to try to get custody of Daryl?
No, I want money back because she came around and she bought a new car.
That had nothing to do with you,
that.
Daryl.
She told me, she cursed at me and sped away and said,
Daryl, are you clean now?
yes.
Why aren't you going into court to get custody of the child?
I plan on, as soon as I
Are
get...
you still with the baby's mother?
Yes.
You do drugs together, right?
Yeah.
You're never going to get the child, Daryl. You're not making the right decisions. This beautiful boy is being raised without a family, bumped from grandma to the babysitter to foster care, and will suffer, if he's still in foster care, all kinds of indignities. I know. I've been in the system for years.
I love her mother, the mother.
The mother is not worthy of the child, Daryl. You know it and I know it. You told me you had 1 conviction. You have far more than 1 conviction. I have your record. We're talking about drugs, drug paraphernalia, domestic battery, suspended license, criminal possession of controlled substance. It's not for me to trash you because you're addicted.
Yeah.
You're addicted to drugs. But you're destroying a child's life. And if it isn't worth getting clean over, then you're not a worthy father. And that's why the courts have taken your son from you. You made a choice about the baby's mother instead of the baby. Shame on you. But I think it's part of the drug addiction and the demon that is. The issue now, do you want this woman to take the money and try to get custody, or are you just looking for money today? Because I have to tell you, you've got an argument. It was a conditional loan. I absolutely believe that it was a gift if she used the money for a lawyer. There's no question in my mind. If you want to see the child, she's probably your best bet at getting custody.
In the case, yes, I would if I could see my child and see him grow up and he knows that I'm his dad, by all means, if he could have the money.
Thank you.
I'm going to make a decision today without prejudice. And that means that if he's got, in 3 months, he wants to come back and see me, I'm going to make you give him the money back. I want to see a receipt from a lawyer who works in the family court, who does custody, who does adoption. I want to make sure that you, on Monday, are looking for a lawyer, that you go into court and that you apply for a facilitator for the child. You have got an excellent a reason to get custody of this child. The child knows you. The grandmother and the parents admit that you're the one who's had more contact than anyone. You are the perfect person.
Thank you. I want to be very much. I love him. You know, I love him dearly.
It's a sad case. It's a very sad case. Don't let anybody push you around. This guy, I don't know where he's getting the money, and I don't want to ask.
From my father.
Good answer. Good answer.
It has been come from his father.
His father did die.
Oh,
And he got a lot of money.
Guy?
He died 8 months ago.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? Let's try to turn the chapter today. All right? I'm very impressed with you. You truly love your child, but you don't have the ability because of your addiction to be a father.
Thank you.
That's a good verdict.
Thank you. Thank you, Daryl. I appreciate it. Believe me, I'll get in the fight.